Have you ever stayed in a place where you felt unseen, hoping one day they'd finally notice your worth? What if the pain of being undervalued was not a punishment, but a path to finding your inner strength? In Zen and Buddhist philosophy, there lies a powerful truth. A lotus cannot bloom in barren land, neither can we thrive where love and respect do not exist. In the wisdom passed down through Zen and Buddhist teachings, there is a profound reminder. You are not bound to remain in a place or with people who do not cherish your presence. Just as a lotus will never blossom in dry, cracked soil, the human spirit cannot flourish in environments lacking kindness and care. Rooted in the understanding of life's impermanence and the sacred value of self-respect, this insight encourages us to let go of attachments that bring suffering. Have you ever sat beside someone and felt completely invisible, as if, somehow, your presence no longer mattered? The ache of being undervalued cuts deep. But beneath that pain lies a transformative lesson. True worth is never granted by others. It is something we must recognize within ourselves. This is the story of a seeker who faced rejection and through that awakened to the quiet strength of self-respect and mindful detachment. The seeker once lived a peaceful life, surrounded by nature's serenity. They gave freely, offering their time, wisdom, and compassion, expecting nothing in return. For a while, their kindness was welcomed. People came to them for guidance and support, but over time, something began to shift. Those very people started to overlook them. Their help was taken for granted. Their presence, once valued, became an afterthought. Confused and wounded, the seeker turned to their Zen master for clarity. The master listened carefully, then asked, "When you pour water into a cup that is already full, what happens?" "It spills over," the seeker replied. "Exactly," said the master. "You are offering your energy to a space that can no longer hold or appreciate it. The time has come to reclaim that energy and use it wisely." To help the seeker grasp this, the master shared a story. A pearl of rare beauty was once discovered, flawless, clear, and radiant. At first, it was admired and treasured, but as it passed from one person to the next, its value was slowly forgotten. It was treated as a mere stone, tossed aside, no longer appreciated. But did the pearl lose its brilliance, or did people lose their ability to see it? The seeker understood. Their worth had never faded. It was only overlooked. And so, the first step toward healing was to stop seeking recognition from those who no longer saw their light. Then came the master's final advice. Do not argue. Do not beg. Do not explain. If someone does not value you, withdraw. Not with anger, but with quiet clarity. Let silence speak louder than your presence. Taking these words to heart, the seeker stepped back. They stopped offering help where it wasn't asked. They no longer chased conversations. Instead, they turned inward, focusing on self-growth. At first, others were puzzled. Why had the seeker changed? But slowly, they began to notice what was missing. Tasks that once seemed easy became difficult. The warmth, insight, and calm once brought by the seeker could no longer be found. Their quiet absence echoed louder than their daily presence ever had. Previously, the seeker had taken a brave step back, not in anger, but with quiet dignity. In that silence, something unexpected happened. Their absence began to echo louder than their presence ever had, and in that space, a deeper realization began to bloom. This realization wasn't born from a desire for revenge or the need to prove anything. It was about finding balance. As the master once said, Absence creates the space for appreciation. Only when something or someone is gone do we often see its true worth. During this quiet season of detachment, the seeker turned inward. Withdrawing from the noise of the outside world, they embraced silence as a companion. Through deep meditation and mindful reflection, they learned to observe their thoughts and emotions without judgment. It was during this journey that the Master introduced a key concept from Buddhist philosophy: anatta, the idea of non-self. This teaching reveals that clinging to external validation leads only to suffering. By depending on others to define our worth, we become prisoners of their perceptions. The seeker began to let go. They gently released the need to be accepted, praised, or understood. Each morning, they whispered a quiet mantra to themselves: "I am enough. Not because others say so, but because I exist." With each repetition, the weight of rejection began to lift. The seeker's heart, once heavy with doubt, grew lighter and more resilient. They began to see that their worth was not something that could be given or taken by others. It was a steady flame, burning from within. As the weeks passed, those who had once overlooked the seeker started to notice their absence. Tasks they had once relied on the seeker for now became challenging. The ease, the peace, the quiet support, their absence left a void. Some people reflected on their behavior and with humility returned with sincere apologies. Others, however, remained distant, trapped by their own pride and ego. The Master gently reminded the seeker, "Not everyone will see your worth. Even when you walk away, that is not your burden to carry. What matters most is that you see it now and have reclaimed your peace." To those who returned with genuine hearts, the seeker responded with kindness, but now with new clarity. They set healthy boundaries, ensuring their worth would never be overlooked again. And to those who did not return, the seeker let go, without anger or regret, fully embracing the truth of impermanence. This, too, was a core teaching of Zen. Everything changes. Just as the seasons shift, so do relationships. Clinging to what no longer serves us only deepens our suffering. To illustrate this, the Master shared a final parable. There was once a tree that bore the sweetest fruit. People gathered beneath it, resting in its shade, enjoying its gifts. But over time, some grew careless. They carved their names into its bark. They broke its branches. Still, the tree stood tall, offering what it could. And when the time came, it shed its leaves without sorrow, knowing that new growth would come. "Be like the tree," the Master said. "Give your best with grace, and when it is time to let go, do so gently, without clinging." The seeker's peace no longer depended on others. It reshaped their life from the inside out. As they focused on their own growth, they began to attract people and opportunities that aligned with their true self. The Master often reminded them, "What you nurture within will be mirrored by the world around you. When you respect yourself, the world reflects that respect back." And slowly, the seeker began to understand. Being undervalued had not been a punishment. It had been a powerful teacher, one that showed them where they had betrayed their own dignity, trying to keep peace at the cost of self-worth. By facing this truth, they rose higher. No longer wasting energy on those who dismissed them, they chose to invest it in themselves and share it with those who truly cherished it. And as the seeker continued to grow in wisdom, something beautiful began to happen. Others started to notice. The seeker's journey had transformed them. No longer did they seek validation from the outside. Instead, they radiated calm strength and quiet assurance, an inner peace that others began to notice. People who once overlooked their presence now approached with curiosity and admiration. They wanted to understand the secret behind the seeker's serene confidence. In gentle conversations, the seeker shared pieces of their story, but they always reminded others, this is not about teaching others how to value you. It's about valuing yourself, enough to walk away when they don't. One day, a young student approached with a heavy heart and asked, "But what if I love those who undervalue me? What if I can't bear to let them go?" The seeker smiled kindly and replied, "Love was never meant to bind you to suffering. Real love, true love, must begin with loving yourself first. To love yourself means choosing not to remain in places where your worth is dismissed. It doesn't mean you stop loving those people. It means you love them from a distance that honors your peace." That moment marked a powerful realization. Freedom lies in detachment. Over time, the seeker came to understand that letting go wasn't a strategy to make others notice their value again. It was something far greater. It was liberation. When you release the need for approval, you begin to live authentically on your own terms. The master once expressed it beautifully. Imagine you are holding a lantern in the night. You offer its light to those around you. If someone refuses it, do you dim the flame, or do you continue walking, illuminating the path for yourself and for those who are ready to walk beside you? This image took root in the seeker's heart. It became a guiding principle. From then on, they stopped trying to prove their worth. They no longer sought to convince anyone of anything. They simply shined, and in doing so, they naturally attracted those who recognized the light and wished to walk with it. The seeker discovered the beautiful balance between compassion and boundaries. They realized that being kind didn't mean tolerating disrespect, that compassion could live alongside strength, that forgiveness didn't require closeness. To those who once undervalued them but later returned with humility, the seeker offered forgiveness. But now they did so with discernment. Clear boundaries protected their energy. They no longer stretched themselves thin in hopes of earning appreciation. Their actions spoke louder than words ever could. Then one evening, the master led the seeker to a quiet pond. A gentle breeze rippled across the surface. The master handed them a small pebble and said, "Drop it in." The seeker did, and they both watched as the ripples expanded outward, touching every edge of the pond. "Your journey is like this ripple," the master said softly. "When you begin with self-respect, your energy spreads, reaching others, inspiring them to value themselves too. But always remember, the ripple starts at the center, with you." A wave of gratitude swept through the seeker. They no longer viewed their past rejections as painful mistakes, but as necessary lessons. Each moment of hurt had carried them closer to truth, deeper into themselves. Their transformation wasn't loud or boastful. It was quiet, rooted, and steady, like the slow unfolding of a flower. They moved through the world with grace, no longer clinging to those who ignored their worth, but instead radiating a quiet confidence that drew the right souls toward them. And in moments of uncertainty, they always remembered the Master's final words, words that would carry them through the next stage of their awakening. The seeker's quiet transformation had become a way of life, one rooted in inner strength, grace, and unwavering self-respect. Their master once said, "The lotus does not beg for attention. It blooms quietly, in its own time, in its own way." And so, the seeker chose to be like the lotus, unshaken, dignified, and deeply rooted in authenticity. They no longer sought to prove themselves, no longer chased approval. Instead, they radiated self-worth simply by being, and in doing so, they lived a life of peace, not because others finally saw their value, but because they had learned to see it themselves. In the end, the seeker's story was not merely about rejection. It was a powerful journey of awakening, a reminder that your worth is not determined by those who fail to recognize it. Every time someone overlooks you, it is not a curse. It is a quiet call to rediscover your own light, to pause, reflect, and realign with who you truly are. When someone stops valuing you, try this gentle but powerful response. Step back, turn inward, and simply observe what happens. You may lose a few connections, but in return, you will gain something far more important, yourself. Because, as Zen wisdom teaches, in losing what you thought you needed, you often find who you truly are. That is the true path to freedom. That is the power of self-worth, and that is the ultimate lesson in valuing yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If this story touched your heart, I'd love for you to stay connected. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future reflections like this. Also, feel free to leave a comment and share what resonated with you, or tell me what kind of story you'd like to explore next. Until next time, may you walk your path in peace, and may your light never dim.